Hey everyone, this amazing ESO Network show is brought to you by our fine sponsor, Amazon.com. Please remember to shop Amazon for all your geeky needs, no matter what time of the year it is. All you need to do is go to esopodcast.com/ESO Amazon, or click on the Amazon banner on the ESO Network webpage to go to our e-store. It's the best way to shop and the best way to support this program, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, that's enough of me babbling for now. Now on with your regular scheduled show.
Exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Pod Casserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Hey, it's the Tuesday Pod Casserole, and Adam's sleepy.
No, I'm not.
You're over there yawning.
You don't know.
You are. This episode brought to you by Outer Limits Comics, the premier comic shop in Franklin, Tennessee, and the official comic shop of the Adam and JP show.
It's amazing is what it is there. They have action figures, collectibles, comics, and more.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Even loose G.I. Joe action figures.
Which you picked up some.
I did.
This past week.
I have no regrets.
That we talked about on Friday's show.
No regrets whatsoever.
Coming up, the subject matter for today's show is King Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Skull Island in theaters this weekend. And so we thought, what better time to talk about one of our favorite apes?
Yeah.
He's right up there with Grape Ape and Gorilla Grodd.
Just a little teaser for that segment later on. Do you prefer your Kong small or big?
Oh, I like a big Kong.
No, I'm serious. You like him as big as possible?
Yeah.
Because for the Skull Island, they're saying he's over 100 feet tall. And he's been as small as about 12 to 14 feet. So it's a big range of a 12-foot Kong or a 100-foot Kong.
I like a big Kong.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So I'm just curious which one you liked.
Now, maybe I should save this when we're actually talking about Kong, but we would be remiss if we didn't mention Donkey Kong.
Right, yeah.
Which was clearly inspired by
Yeah, for sure. The
King
whole
Kong.
gorilla thing. So
And I would even say Gorilla Grodd is probably inspired by King Kong.
Most likely.
And an odd coincidence, the last two episodes of The Flash on the CW have been Gorilla Grodd episodes.
Really?
Yeah. They actually went to Gorilla City.
Really?
On Earth, too.
They timed it out to come out at the same time as the movie? Who does that kind of thing? Oh, wait, we did too.
Oh, did we? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Never mind.
Hey, I want to start. This is a little bit local.
Yeah.
Just a warning.
A little bit loco?
And loco.
Oh.
A little bit local.
Okay.
If you're from Nashville or the Middle Tennessee area, and I say the name Bart Durham, Adam, what instantly comes to your head?
Mid-afternoon, cheaply made, soap opera-esque commercials of an attorney's office?
Yeah, he's an attorney.
Yeah.
In Nashville. And his commercials have always been crazy.
Right, yeah.
And the YouTube page is even crazier.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found a Harlem Shake video that were the people in the Bart Durham office in like his main meeting room, and he's there.
Really?
And they're doing the Harlem Shake all around him. They love their video production.
They think it is a big push.
Over at the Bart Durham Attorneys at Law.
Can you name any other attorneys or lawyers in this area besides him? And we know him because of his commercials and his video work.
No. I know others exist.
Yeah.
Hughes and Coleman, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Hughes and
all
Coleman.
Those Judge Judy commercials.
Yeah. But Bart Durham, I mean, let's be honest, a bit of an ambulance chaser.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
that's kind of what his videos are about sometimes.
So if you have an ambulance chaser attorney in your area, you can relate to our Bart Durham.
Yeah.
I would just want to give you here's a little idea of what these Bart Durham commercials are all about.
Speed dating.
You're doing it.
I was riding in a car that flipped over in Sparta, Tennessee.
What do you think? Connection? Hashtag I love you. We can live in my grandma's basement.
I broke my back and had surgery.
I have to take a lot of fiber. I bet your feet smell awesome. You have $20? I built a time machine.
I called Bart Durham.
It's gonna
happen. It's gonna happen. Oh.
Whoa.
Bart got me $250,000.
You deserve to be paid for what you've gone through.
I've never seen that one before. That must be a newer one.
Usually they're tagged like this.
Justice is your right, and we demand it.
That's Bart.
Yeah, that's Big Bart.
That's Big Bart Durham. Now, that's a silly commercial.
Yeah.
And what he does is he takes actual clients, maybe, and he puts them in weird situations.
Yeah, are those actors or are they real clients?
I think, I don't know. Maybe they're actors.
There's fine print, but I'm so drawn in by the visuals on the screen, I can't read the fine print.
And the acting. And these have ranged from the speed dating to the community theater to a mystery theater to a basketball player where a girl's trying to get his attention and then takes her top off at the end.
What?
An actual Bart Durham commercial.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can find all these on YouTube. Just look up Bart Durham. And then there was this one.
Jack Whitaker won the largest lottery jackpot in U.S. history in Charleston, West Virginia.
This is my son, Jesse. He died of a drug overdose in a house owned by Jack Whitaker. As a father, I needed answers. That's why I went out of West Virginia and hired Bart Durham.
A lawsuit was filed in Putnam County, prompting Whitaker to say, "I'll be dead and gone to hell before he gets a dime." But after a week of trial, Whitaker agreed to a confidential settlement, and Mr. Tribble got his answers.
Justice is your right, and we demand it.
Wow. I have so many questions right now.
So I'm trying to dissect that commercial. So there was the largest lottery winner in West Virginia, so he had a bunch of money.
Right.
And then a kid ODs in his house.
Right.
So
it's his fault now.
His father, who knows his child, died in the largest lottery winner in West Virginia's history's house, went to Nashville to get Bart Durham to sue him in a court in Putnam County, Tennessee.
And those details of that whole story are worthless unless you are the person that wants to go after someone with a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you've just hit upon the key to the Bart Durham strategy.
That's crazy.
But justice is your right.
And we demand it.
And you demand it.
Yeah, wow.
So his commercials, and I couldn't find any on YouTube, like his current commercials, are very short. And it's him walking around with, I think these are actual clients.
Oh, really?
And there's one where the commercial just starts with him talking to, and obviously he's like in a low-income area. And it's Bart kind of chastising the guy. And he's like, well, I wish you'd called us when that accident happened. I know, Mr. Bart. I'll call you next time.
Justice is your right, and we demand it.
If you go to bartdurham.com/about us/meet Bart/my-wrestling-career, you find out that Big Bart 15 years ago was kind of a wrestler.
I thought he had a cauliflower ear. Really? I just thought it was because he was old.
He's talking about local wrestling promoters like Burt Prentice and Tony Falk in this.
Really?
This is so funny. That's good.
And he's built like an older guy who was probably once, muscular.
Yeah. He used to be a manager apparently as well.
And he kind of stoops when he walks.
Big Bart Durham.
I've painted Bart as it's almost like a Quasimodo character, but it's not that bad.
One time at McKay's, the like a used DVD and video game store here we have in town.
Yeah.
I think they may be a chain. Do they have those around?
Yeah, McKay's is a chain.
Is a chain?
Uh-huh.
So they had about 10-ish years ago, whenever these big Bart Durham commercials finally got kind of big and got a lot of playtime, they were continuations, like an episode of a soap opera. So each episode had a different theme to it, and they were all tied in together. And they released those in a cheaply made and semi-widely distributed DVD across the region here. And I saw those at McKay's, but I never bought it. I always wanted to. It was like $5 for the Bart Durham anthology, and I almost bought it right there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He marketed his commercials?
It was on DVD with a cover and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bart Durham Chronicles.
That's a real thing.
I hate the new ones.
Yeah.
Because it really, like we said, lawyers are what they are. And, ambulance chasers are what they are.
Yeah.
But this guy, he is going into the lowest income areas in Nashville and almost exploiting these people for his commercials.
Right.
I feel like. Because at the end of it, they're all, it's all praising him. Well, I'm glad I met you, Mr. Bart.
Right.
I don't know.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, some good Bart laughs.
If you're in the Nashville area, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you're not, it's definitely worth looking up Bart Durham on YouTube.
I promise you.
You will not be disappointed in those commercials. Go ahead.
I won't read it off.
No, do it.
He suffered a concussion in 2002 after being hit by a steel chair at a show at the Exit Inn. Bart Durham did.
What?
Yeah. So
in 2002?
Yeah, 2002.
What was he doing?
I think he was a manager then.
He was an established attorney by then.
Yeah, I never completely lost consciousness, but felt the effects for several weeks afterwards.
Wow.
I'd like to get back in the ring, says Bart. Arthritis and 4 stays in the hospital in 2006 and early 2007 for heart troubles have slowed me down a bit.
He was a wrestler?
Yeah. he was trying to describe to non wrestling fans what wrestling is about. He was saying how some managers throw talcum powder in the eyes of their opponents. That's how we are where we are.
And that's the story of Bart Durham.
Yeah.
We encourage you to reach out to us. Do you find something else? I could
tell
tell that laugh was...
No, I'm going to stop. I'm not looking. Not even looking.
We want you to reach out to us, and then what we're going to try to do is every week on, I guess, the Tuesday show now.
Yeah.
It's kind of established itself as that. We will name one SOB of the week.
Right.
And it's, how do you become an SOB of the week?
Just interact, social media interaction through Facebook, through Twitter, and an email. If you email info@adamandjp.com or ajp@adamandjp.com, those can all be ways to contact us. Give us your story, good or bad. We'll read it, and you may become the SOBOTW or DBOTW, whatever it's called this week.
SOB of the week.
Because at first it was called the douchebag. It was DBOTW at first.
Yeah, but that's
years ago.
There was just no way to spin that in a positive way.
Exactly. Now it's SOB, which is a very positive. It's a term of endearment.
Yeah, it comes from a predator, right?
SOB. Oh, yeah, you son of a bitch. How are you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
all fun.
Yeah. If Arnold calls someone that, I'll call them that with a joyous tone to it.
With love in my heart.
Exactly.
You can be the SOBOTW. Now, SOBOTW is not gender specific.
Right.
You don't have to be a male.
You can be a DOBOTW.
That's right.
Yeah.
And this week's SOBOTW is actually Kristen from Anaheim, California. She wrote in, "Hey, boys." I don't know that she said it like that. Hey, boys.
Hey, fellows.
Hey, sailors. Just found your show and have made it a new podcast binge. Last week you were talking about mountain oysters. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Reba McEntire.
Clear memories.
Talking about mountain oysters. And I have a pretty funny story. I am from South Carolina originally, and the first time I took my now husband home, my family prepared a batch for him. He was about 3 in when I finally broke down and told them what they were. LOL. He still married me, though.
Nice.
Wow.
What a keeper.
That is... I would not have married you, Kristen.
You would have called it off?
That would have been a deal breaker right there.
Like, not only is he with your family, but you're feeding him nuts.
Exactly.
And not like cocktail style or an almond.
No. Like
an
bull.
Actual, like a veiny, throbby nut.
No. I would have, booked the first plane back to Anaheim. He is a keeper, Kristen.
Yeah.
No, because I would have not done that. I would have walked out.
Yeah, that's true love.
As soon as you told me what it was, I would have dropped the plate and just walked out. You never would have seen me again.
If a man eats testicles for you, that's true love.
That is true love.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Saw it on a card.
I think that was a scene in Love Actually. Also, loved the TV spinoff list, but you forgot some, like Golden Palace from the Golden Girls.
I did think of that. I thought of it.
But is it one of your favorites?
No, it's not a favorite.
That was our favorite.
I love Golden Girls, but
Golden Palace, And The Amanda Show.
I thought about that as well.
From all that, which The Amanda Show was pretty good.
Yeah.
I forgot about Amanda Bynes.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-crazy Amanda Bynes.
I think the world did.
Yeah. Anywho, keep up the great work! ! What should Pod Casserole fans call ourselves?
Ooh.
That's a good question, Kristen.
That's a good question. Let us know. I don't know. I haven't thought of that.
Pod Pals?
That sounds a little weird.
Yeah. Does sound weird. P-Pods?
Let me think about that. Because it should be tied into the casserole theme.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me think about it. It doesn't have to make sense,
Well, Kristen, what would you like to call yourself?
Yeah, let us know.
You can name.
I'm curious.
What Pod Casserole fans call each other
when
they're not around us.
Yeah.
I like P-Pods.
Yeah, P-Pods.
We also heard from last week's SOBOTW, Derek from Chicago. He wrote back after the show aired. Hey, guys, thanks for mentioning me on the show! ! Last time I had anything like this happen, I was 4 or 5. My mom called the radio station, and I was talking to Santa on the phone. I asked for an ET, sleeping bag, and a stomper. Do you remember Stomper?
What's a Stomper?
Stomper trucks?
No.
They were little trucks. You'd put one AA battery inside the truck, and then there was a switch on the bottom, and then the Stomper would just ride around.
Huh.
And the reason why they were called Stompers, they had foam tires on them, and you could switch out the tires. And they would come in different styles.
It's like a non-controlled remote control car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were like monster truck style stuff because they were jacked up before that was a term. He says, I still love those toys. He thought, Santa thought he was a girl! ! I let my 3-year-old son Logan and his wife listen. Oh, I let my 3-year-old son Logan and wife listen.
Wow.
Sorry, Derek.
Different culture over there.
Yeah,
huh?
I guess. They do weird things in Chicago. He thought you were talking about him most of the show. It was awesome. Thanks again, Derek. Oh, by the way, if you're going to do a horror host show, check out horrorhost.com. They have a huge list of horror hosts all over the country, dead or alive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Check it out.
So there, 2 SOBs of the week.
Logan's a good name, by the way.
Yeah, Logan is a...
Bring
good
Logan
name.
in real close. Bring him in really close.
Okay.
Hey, Logan, listen to your father. Okay, we're done. I thought it'd be fun.
Wow.
A little interactive. What?
Well, no, I got one.
Okay, good. Bring him in close. Here we go.
Here we go, Logan. Don't do drugs.
That's good, too.
Drugs are bad, okay?
That's good, too.
Stay in school.
See? Good advice.
Even
Listen to
though-
your father. Don't do drugs.
Stay in school. When you get in school, because
Yeah.
you're 3,
Yeah.
probably not in school yet.
Let's just cut a Hulk Hogan promo on Logan.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Take your vitamins, say your prayers. That's about it, right?
What there were the pythons.
Yeah,
Something
24
about the-
Yeah, I don't have those.
Something about, like, the plane was going down
That's
and
a-
the
that's a-
pilot was worried.
Not the
and-
Ultimate Warrior promo.
I thought that was was that the Ultimate Warrior?
I think that's Warrior.
I thought that was Hogan.
I don't think so.
No,
was it?
that was Hogan.
Well, they both must have had a plane going down promo because Warrior did one as
because I
well.
remember like everyone on the plane hopped on the 24-inch pythons and Hogan swam across the water and got him to Pasadena, California.
But that was his response to Warrior's crazy because he was gonna nosedive the airplane and it was crazy. Regardless, Logan, do what your father says
and stay in school.
Yeah, and take your vitamins, say your prayers,
and don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Thank you, Logan.
And don't do steroids.
Steroids are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, some honorable mentions for this week's SOB OTW. Good Trip Podcast, Rusty Shackles, Lisa DeLay. Who else?
We're going to see Rusty Shackles at the Arcade Expo, or we saw him last weekend. I'm sorry. He's always there at the expo.
Yeah.
I love his art. I've bought it every year. I buy his art.
Yeah.
He had the classic Incredible Hulk Altered Beast power-up.
Oh, that was him?
That's Rusty Shackles. That's him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Israel Smith, another one.
Great artist.
That reached out to us.
Yeah.
Rusty Shackles.
Oh, Rusty.
He's a longtime fan.
Yeah, he is.
Rusty's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah. Been around the block, old Rusty.
That is this week's SOB OTW. Very easy to be. Just go to adamandjp.com. If you go to the contacts tab, you can actually email us right from
Sends
there.
a fancy little message.
It does. We
You
get
know?
it in our inbox.
Of course, Twitter is always fun as well, at AdamandJP, because that's what we do. I've looked up stomper trucks, and I think I want a stomper truck now.
Oh, no.
I think those are cool.
Adam, as we've mentioned in the prior weeks, you become a bit obsessed with the mad balls.
Who doesn't love a good mad ball?
I'm a bit concerned.
Why is that? I'm so excited. So
I just remember when this happened with the Amiibos.
But there's a different. The Amiibos, I kept them in package as a collectible / maybe an investment for the future. And I saw the stock market of the Amiibo quickly decline.
Yeah.
Where the Mad Balls, I can't even wait to get out of the door of Target before I rip it off the package and squeeze it.
And throw it at somebody.
And play it. It's a toy meant to be played with. These aren't collectibles like I thought the Amiibos were. I'm collecting them, but not as collectibles. There's a difference.
All I'm saying is, when I'm in bed, asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get a text message, bring! Oh my goodness, there must be some sort of family emergency. Somebody's texting me. What's going on? Hey, look at this sweet Mad Ball I just picked up.
Did that happen?
Could be a bit of a problem.
Was it that early in the morning?
No.
Oh, maybe.
I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating for dramatic effect.
They're fun decorative ornaments.
You're hanging them?
Well, I mean, not hanging, but I put them on my desk. They're fun.
Do you have a Mad Ball hanging from your rearview mirror?
That's not a bad idea to have a Mad Ball Christmas ornament. I think you're onto something.
I think I am too.
Yeah.
You should take a couple, wrap them around the string, and hang them from the back of your car.
Oh, just boom, 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 boom.
There you
the back of my truck.
Yeah. There you go. That'd be fun.
I think if I meant to bring them again. I've got like a whole bushel of Mad Balls right now.
A bushel of
I think if you
Mad Balls.
squeezed a good Mad Ball, you would change your tone.
Maybe not. Probably not.
Give it a chance.
I'm going to go with no.
I told you about my Slobulus, right?
Yes, you did.
I'm so mad about
A couple of times, actually.
On the show? Did I talk about it on the show yet?
I think you did.
Oh,
well,
okay.
you talked. Your wife picked one up.
Yeah, but no, the Slobulus, the hard-to-find, rare, full-size Slobulus. I found that at a Target nearby here, left it on the shelf because I had the mini Slobulus. So I get home, do my daily Madball research, find out the Slobulus comes 1 to a box. It's the hardest one to find right now, the full-size Slobulus Madball. So I left it hanging.
You went right back to Target and got it.
No, because it was about an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no Slobulus, no full-size slob for me.
Yet?
Not yet. On the lookout for it, though.
How long you see this Madball craze lasting?
I think they have plans for multiple waves, like second and third.
I mean, how long will you be into it?
Oh, a while.
Yeah? You're never going to give up, are you? You're going to live these forever.
No, I'm not saying that.
Pokemon Go.
I'm not saying forever. It's different for the the amiibos. Those, to me, were collectibles that weren't collectibles. At first, they were touted as such. That's not what it was, though.
So
these are just fun to squeeze, and I'll always like squeezing them.
You always have.
Yeah.
So when you went and got G.I. Joes, the old retro classic Joes this week,
right?
Do you think that would spark an Adam collecting period of G.I. Joes?
Well, I've always wanted. I've teased it for a while. If I had $1 million to collect one thing, it would be the old classic G.I. Joes. And so when I found out they were in store for cheap, I got some. I've got many before that.
Right.
I've had since I was a small boy. So
do you have a bushel of Joes?
I have more Joes than balls. Mad balls.
Okay. Our friend Mike from who does Collection Connection with Josh a lot.
Right.
He sent us a text message that was an advertisement from the 1980s. I don't even know what it was from. Maybe Toys R Us or Sears and Roebuck or something. And it was all A-Team toys.
Yeah.
And then I sent him back that I actually have the van that's featured in that.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Where is that van?
Where
it's over there. And you saw my Atari 5200 that I got,
yeah.
that I salvaged.
All nice and shined up, turned up sideways, and looking real good.
Shine that Atari up real nice. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
It's almost here.
Highly anticipated.
Yeah.
We got a new trailer this past week, and my favorite scene is Star-Lord playing the classic football game.
Yeah, that was awesome, right? Yeah.
Handheld football game.
Yeah.
That's, man, there's just something magical about that movie.
There really is, yeah.
And I can tell the second one's going to be the same way.
I agree.
Your thoughts on it?
I'm excited about it. I mean, just the idea, my only fear, if I had to have one fear about it, I'm afraid they may be making Drax a little too comedic. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
In the first movie, that was, it happened, but like little small blurts here and there. And I feel like the trailers, at least, are very, very Drax being comedic heavy. Yeah. Very much so. Like every single thing he does, he is the comedic relief. And I felt in the first one that wasn't the case. He just had some spots. But here he's like the Stan Laurel to the Oliver Hardy for the most part.
I think that is a valid concern. Mm-hmm. Though, I mean, if there's like 4 or 5 moments in the movie, that would go along with the first one.
But you have to admit, the trailers are pretty heavy on the
they're
comedy.
pretty Drax comedy heavy.
Yeah.
But it is funny.
Oh, it is, yeah. I've never not laughed at them. I'm like, just kind of worried.
My concern is the Guardians team is getting too big.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody from the first movie is now part of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
You join the winners,
I guess.
You can't beat them, join them.
And then I guess Kurt Russell will be part of that team as well.
Yeah. What's cool about this is I've seen so much footage and so many trailers, but in the best way possible, I still have no idea what the movie's about. And I like that.
Yeah, that's true.
It. Like I don't like trailers that show me, the beginning to end, to the reveal, to the CGI boss named Doomsday at the end. I don't like those.
It
ruins it. This here.
Are you talking about Batman v Superman?
No, it's just kind of generalizing out there. Yeah. But in general, you have no idea what this movie's about. Like, who's the villain? What's happening? What are they doing?
I think it is just a movie about Baby Groot eating M&Ms.
I'm down for that. I would watch an hour and a half, maybe 2.5 hours.
And waving to Gamora.
Yeah. What's up with his suit? Sometimes he has it, sometimes he doesn't.
I don't know.
Sometimes he's naked.
You don't know the difference in a rifle and a blade?
Already quotable stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
Though I completely butchered that quote.
Yeah,
but
you did. It's a paraquote.
Yeah. To paraphrase Gamora in the trailer. And also, David Ayer, who directed a fantastic tank movie that starred Brad Pitt and then directed Suicide Squad, has teased that the villain of Gotham City Sirens, which is apparently going to be the follow-up to Suicide Squad, that will feature Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman?
Maybe? Not sure, honestly.
Who's the third?
Not totally sure.
There's a third. Not Batgirl.
No.
I
don't know.
But the villain may be Black Mask.
Oh, really?
Which he just tweeted out a picture of Black Mask last week.
That'd be kind of cool.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I
would
the
love to see him as a bad guy.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
I don't trust any trailers I see from this point forward from him. Not at all.
It's odd that he is directing this follow-up. But again,
it
was a very successful movie. From the, on paper, there's no reason why DC wouldn't go with him again.
Yeah, it made money.
And I'm pretty sure that the Gotham City Sirens movie will make a ton of movie, too.
Probably so.
The movie will make a ton of money. Movie make money.
Movie make money.
Yeah, but I would be excited to see Black Mask as the main villain.
They're trying to slowly leak DC things every now and then. You saw the little
Aquaman?
Little clip of Aquaman.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
see.
Oh, yeah, I love the initial. Oh, that looks stupid. That sucks. It is less than 3 seconds.
But you know it's going to suck. You know this. In your heart of hearts.
No.
In your heart of hearts, you know.
We don't know.
We gave BVS a big chance.
We did.
Big shot.
Especially after Man of Steel.
Yeah.
We did. But I'm not going to become that person. I refuse.
Okay.
I will see it first.
I'm going to see it.
I know.
I'm going to see it.
Yeah. But if you already have in your mind you're going to hate it, you're going to hate it.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes
Look what happened to Ghostbusters last year. Everybody had in their mind they were going to hate it.
Well, see,
and that actually turned out to be a decent movie.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I can be turned. I can have a predisposition and be changed like that.
I can be turned like that.
I can be hashtag turned. Like with Trolls. I thought that would be terrible. I was almost angry I had to go see the movie.
Right.
And I loved it. Same with Ghostbusters. I was going into it like, this may not be so good. And I left loving it. I can go in with an idea and leave with a different one. I'm good like that.
Explain to me what happened with you in The Arrival, because I really want to see that movie. It looks really good.
Yeah. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it.
That was a roller coaster because on social media, everyone said that it was great. It was fantastic. I rented it from Redbox, and I went into it knowing nothing about it. Not the cast, the plot. I had no idea. So the movie opens up, and I see Amy Adams. I'm like, oh man, that's not a good thing. She's not a good Lois Lane or a good anything to me specifically.
Okay, even though she's Oscar nominee, but continue.
That means nothing.
Okay.
Then I see Forrest Whitaker. I'm like, oh, this is getting better and better. One of my least favorite actors of all time is here. It's almost time to take the movie back. And then, as if it couldn't get any worse, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner shows up. I'm like, wow.
So you didn't even watch it?
No, I did.
Yeah. What did you think?
It was different. Not what I expected at all.
Was it good though?
It was all right. Yeah.
Oh, so you were just joking when you said you took it back.
That was a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've heard nothing but good things about that movie.
Yeah, it was different. It was not what I expected.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, even if I wanted to spoil it, I couldn't. It's one of those thinkers. I thought it would be it's kind of like an Independence Day 3.0, but it was much, much, much more smart. It seemed like a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's better, The Arrival or that Jodie Foster movie from the 90s, Contact?
Arrival for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, there's Arrival and there's The Arrival with Charlie Sheen from the 90s. Big difference.
Sorry, Arrival.
So if you're asking that,
That's
I would
what I
say
mean.
Contact, but Arrival is better than Contact.
I want to see it. There's lots of movies. I kind of want to see La La Land.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet.
I thought Manchester by the Sea was terrible. I saw that one. The night
Really?
before, I rented Arrival and that together.
Casey Affleck won Best Actor
know.
for that.
He got a lot of backlash for that. You see, because of
Well,
I think in 2010, the whole sexual harassment thing, and
you mean when it's well documented in,
so I didn't know about that
in
until,
that movie?
I had no idea until this came out this past week.
Yeah,
No idea.
you've never seen the movie with
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
What is the name of the movie called?
I'm Not There.
I'm Not There.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they just act like assholes in that whole movie.
Well, see, I thought that was like a mockumentary. I thought that was part of the show.
I did too, until it starts to come out. No, they might have just been acting that way. That just might have been them.
That's crazy.
Making that movie, which I doubt that, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't. Nor was I there.
Right.
So I can't tell you what happened.
Yeah, that was it. But they were both extremely, extremely sad movies. Both were. I just wasn't ready for that. I wasn't prepped.
I think Manchester by the Sea is not what I think it's about. Okay, you can just tell me yes or no.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like a guy that ends up adopting like a girl that he doesn't want to adopt, and it's that story.
It was a boy.
Or a boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to, but he does.
It's deeper than that, but yeah, it's his nephew. It's his brother's son.
But then I feel like
brother dies of a heart attack quickly at a young age, and then he takes him under his wing.
His brother dies from a heart attack when he turns down playing Batman?
Pretty much, yeah.
And directing a Batman movie?
Yeah.
Is there murder or death in this movie at any point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not murder, but death, yeah. That's what you'll see. I don't want to spoil it, but you go see it.
Does the name have anything to do with how someone dies?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's just it's over I think around 2.5 hours long. slow, depressing. It's not my style of movie. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Even, from start to finish, you're sad. You never see Casey Affleck once almost smirk. She's sad and frowny the whole time. Is that good acting? I guess it is, sure. Act sad. Here's your award.
Okay. So basically, he acts like Ben Affleck after Batman v Superman comes out.
Yeah, the interviews, the press interviews, pretty much.
Oh, hey. Oh, did Civil War win an Academy Award?
I don't think so. I know Suicide Squad did.
Oh, but Suicide Squad did.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's interesting.
You see, it's whenever you say it's Academy Award winning, you can't say that anymore. It means nothing.
Well, I think it means something. It was a technical award.
It was for makeup and hair. Did you see
they did a good job of that.
The other movies that were made up,
you can't say they looked terrible in Suicide Squad.
I'm just saying.
Of all the things you could say about that movie, they looked great.
But compared to the competition, I don't agree with that. Whenever I think an Academy Award winning comic movie, it shouldn't be that one. It's a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Like Guardians wins nothing, but that wins one. Come on.
Yeah. Guardians should win for best soundtrack.
That hurts my bone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not original, but something.
I didn't say original. We're going to talk about a big giant ape that's won some Academy Awards along the way.
Yes, we are.
It's all about King Kong.
Next.
10, 9, 8.
The White Rocket Podcast, hosted by Van Allen Plexico, covering the entire universe of popular culture, movies, TV, books, comics, music, and more, with interviews, convention panels, discussions about current and classical works, and much more. The White Rocket Podcast. It's one long conversation with a variety of guests about the best of popular culture.
Wait a minute. Let me through, officer. My name's Denham. Just a moment. Oh, Lieutenant. Lieutenant, I'm Carl Denham. Carl Denham?
Denham? Oh, that's the man that captured the monster.
Well, Denham, the airplane's got him. Oh, no. It wasn't the airplanes. It was Beauty killed the beast.
So, Adam, to start with King Kong, we have to go all the way back to 1933 and the RKO King Kong, which to me...
I can't hear that not say it. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. I can't hear it to this day.
And to me still remains quite possibly one of the greatest films of all time.
Really?
Do you not agree?
I can't stand by it.
Are you serious?
It's all right, but it's just, I guess at the time, if I was alive in 1933, sure. But to today's standards, it doesn't hold up whatsoever.
That's so unfair. You cannot compare a 1933 movie to today's standards in filmmaking.
I think you have to. If we have this whole range from 2017 to 1933, you've got to compare. It's what we're doing.
No, you can't do that. That's not fair.
It was good, sure. It was good for 1933.
Can you at least acknowledge that without this fantastic film from 1933, you would not have any of the King Kong stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
And then today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's odd that it's got a lot of chutzpah to it. And people like it on Rotten Tomatoes today. It's still ranked the #1 horror movie of all time, and I don't even see it as a horror movie. It's just it's odd to me.
It's pretty scary, but you have to put yourself in the mindset of a 1933 moviegoer.
Yeah,
they were seeing things that they had never. Well, for the most part, never seen before.
Right? Yeah, it's good for what it is. It's definitely not my favorite. Not even top 3 for me in these.
Fay Wray, Robert Armstrong, Bruce Cabot, all-star in the original King Kong. An RKO picture.
Right. Do you call this, first off, do you call the original 1933 King Kong a horror movie? That's a tough. There were movies back then like a Nosferatu, much earlier than this movie, but much more in the horror realm. And I don't know if this belongs in horror.
Okay.
To me.
What elements make up a horror movie?
Fear.
Okay, you have that?
You can say this for any, like the things you're going to make me list are found in Dumb and Dumber, so we can't do that.
No. You have fear.
Right, yeah.
Is it fair to say that there's some entity that's haunting another entity in most horror movies?
Sure, but
that's a horror staple?
He's in love with her, not hunting. I don't know. That's a different boundary for me. He loves her. He's not trying to kill her. It's a difference. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, but nobody knows that but her.
Yeah. It's a blurred line. That's all I'm saying.
I think if you want to call Jaws a horror movie, you can call the original King Kong a horror movie.
I guess so.
I think if you're gonna make the spectrum that wide, then yes, the 1933 King Kong falls as a horror movie.
It's a wide spectrum. We'll take it though.
Now hold on a second.
Yeah.
Not only with the stop motion animation for King Kong,
right,
but the stop motion animation for all the prehistoric beings on what would later be termed Skull Island.
Yeah.
I don't think it was called Skull Island.
I think it was.
Oh, yeah, it was. You're right. You're right.
I think so.
So all the prehistoric entities on Skull Island, all this stop-motion animation in 1933, man.
Yeah, it was a big deal then.
The special effects in this movie are amazing for 1933.
For 1933, yeah.
Well, that's how you have to look at it.
I agree.
This movie single-handedly turned Fay Wray into a sex symbol, like a Hollywood bombshell.
Yeah.
And created the love affair with King Kong.
As it should have.
Yeah, as a movie monster. Yeah. One of the original movie monsters.
Did you not have any kind of beef whatsoever with her performance? Even she herself at the premiere at the Chinese theater, she says her scream just took away from the movie and it was distracting. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, man, this is just shut up.
Well,
but she said it herself, so there's something there.
But I keep it all within the context of 1933.
Okay.
Like, did she know what she was screaming at? I mean, you know.
Yeah.
For an actor, especially that removed from silent films, like, wasn't her last movie before King Kong a silent film?
Yeah, it was, in the 20s there.
So, I mean, it's just a whole new concept, and then take a giant, no pun intended, leap like King Kong. I don't know. I'm forgiving for the acting in the movie. Because she's not the only one. I mean,
the whole thing's bad.
Yeah.
But it's her
Robert Armstrong's acting's pretty bad,
But it's her screams. Like, I had to turn the volume down when I see this movie every time. Like, I can't handle this anymore. I can't do it.
And, of course, this ends... I mean, should we explain... Do we need to go over the plot of King Kong?
We can do a quick one because all these are kind of a retelling, for the most part, of the same plot. So, long story short, in all these variations of these plots, a crew of some kind, for some reason or the other, comes together, goes to an island, and tries to find new territory or oil, or depends which storyline you take. They're trying to find something that would benefit them. They wind up finding a different tribe of some sort that after a while kidnaps an attractive blonde female, and they then sacrifice the female to this Kong they refer to. Kong is the big ape gorilla that they're afraid of. They kind of give sacrifices, so he'll leave them alone, and Kong takes the female of a different name each time, falls in love, but some people see that as a violent way, like he wants to kill her or eat her. Even she at first thinks that she's in trouble every time.
Right.
And you slowly see he falls in love with her. And as different stories take it, they'll always somehow capture Kong, usually take him back to either Japan or New York and show him off on a display. Kong gets pissed. He breaks out and goes after the attractive female again. And somehow every time, sadly dies. And usually the blonde is over him crying, where she almost in a way fell in love with him as well.
Right.
This is the first time in 1933 we see the first quote, "It was beauty killed the beast." First time we ever hear that. And it's almost used almost every time, at least in the good ones it was.
And if anybody else calls you a beast, I'll rip their heart out.
Yeah.
That's from Batman.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, now in this one, the plot device is to bring Kong back as basically a showpiece.
Right, yeah.
A sideshow attraction. To bring him back to New York. And you're absolutely right. And then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Kong's loose in the city.
Yeah.
Things go nuts. Shit hits fan.
Yeah.
And King Kong dies.
But every time, I mean, these movies, I forget how emotional they get me.
Yeah.
Doing the research for this and watching
Even the 33 one?
That one the least by far. That's what the only. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm sure for the time it was fantastic, but the emotions aren't evoked watching that one at all whatsoever. I'm so disjointed by the quality of everything. It's tough to get into it. I'm sure if I were this age in 33, it would have been awesome, but I can't do that.
I remember, and I'm sure this was, I have to use the Nashville reference because that's where I'm from. But I'm pretty sure this was a syndication thing across the country. When I was a little kid, Channel 17 in Nashville, which was the Nashville UHF channel.
Yeah.
One night, or maybe 2 nights out of a week, they were going to show King Kong. The gimmick was King Kong had been reprinted in 3D. So it was going to be King Kong in 3D. So you could go to the 7-Eleven or whatever gas station,
I remember them doing that.
Convenience store, pick up your 3D glasses, and then that night sit at home and watch King Kong in 3D on Channel 17.
I saw Wizard of Oz like that and a John Wayne movie like that one time on TV in 3D.
And they, I remember vaguely that before they'd show the movie, they'd shot all this gimmick stuff to show you what 3D was, and it was like a guy in a trench coat playing with a Chinese yo-yo and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's funny.
And so I remember, I guess the first time I watched 1933's King Kong all the way through was when they showed it in 3D in syndication when I was a kid. So
that's why it's got a special place for you. As a young child, you saw that.
I think just as a film fan,
yeah,
what King Kong did for genre movies and horror movies and science fiction movies. I mean, it was a cryptozoology movies.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll jump on that train.
But I love Fay Wray in the original King Kong.
Yeah.
So you want to go to the 70s now?
No, I have some middle meat I want to take care of here.
Yeah. This is where I'm not as familiar with this stuff.
So in the same year, 6 months later, Son of Kong comes out. Did you ever have any?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So Carl Denham, the character from the first, returns back and goes to the island once again. They don't find Kong or anybody like that, but they find a smaller, they say about 2 times the size of a human male. So what, 12-ish feet?
Yeah.
He's an albino gorilla, albino ape. And once again, the history repeats itself. Bad things happen. He saves the humans from that. And the son of Kong, what they wind up calling him, eventually sacrifices himself once an earthquake hits the island to save Carl. And he dies in the process. So once again, a very emotional story, but kind of the same plot points are hit. But clearly just an easy cash-in. I mean, 6 months later, this came out in the same year of 1933.
And not done nearly as well, I imagine.
No.
I've never seen Son of Kong.
No, not at all.
So they don't even leave the island.
No,
in this one.
Yeah.
It stays exclusively on the
Once
island.
again, he fights a T-Rex. He fights a bear. It's a stop-motion bear. Check it out.
That is kind of what I like about the 1933 stuff is King Kong versus other prehistoric beings.
Right.
Oh, what if we saw King Kong take on Godzilla?
That'd be awesome.
Interesting.
33 years later, that's what's weird about Kong. He's got a long history, like almost 80 years now. But for a while, there's many droughts of Kong. As popular as he was back in 33, it was 33 more years, and that was on the shores of Japan. We get the next one, King Kong versus Godzilla, a Japanese-only release. And, I mean, it's what you think it is. They're fighting each other, and for the most part, King Kong wins, really.
Which is so strange.
Yeah.
How could you let if it's a Japanese exclusive,
I know, right? Yeah.
How can King Kong win?
The fight ends underwater, and King Kong emerges. And it's never shown. You never see Godzilla's dead body, but only King Kong walks out and heads back to Skull Island.
Here's the thing about any of this versus Godzilla. And unless that's the Godzilla movies where he's taking on Mothra and things like that.
Right.
Doesn't Godzilla just ooze radiation?
Yes. Yeah. That does happen.
So to take out a giant ape should be fairly easy, right?
Unless it's like a Superman thing and the ape is created from radiation himself and he gets stronger from that. It's possible.
That's true. Oh, like Superman 4, The Quest for Peace?
Yeah.
Solar Man?
I mean more like Superman in the Sun, but whatever. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, though, what makes you, I mean, it's never told as far as I know, and as much as I've watched King Kong movies, what has created King Kong? Has it been the millions and millions of years in captivity of freedom away from human evolution, where the ape itself will evolve to that size? What makes you think King Kong is even a thing? I mean, they never say, so it's all up to us.
Well, I think
our interpretation at this point.
I think he's just an inhabitant of the island.
Yeah,
and he did have, like, what film is it explained that he's the last?
I don't know they say that, but in we'll talk about soon. Peter Jackson's 2005. King
Right.
Kong.
That's what I was.
He talks about he thinks of him as over 100 years old. He's kind of grayed. He's grizzled. He's weathered. He's got scars on his face, and he sees King Kong as having no family. He's the last one of his kind.
Yeah.
That's why he takes to the female so much.
Yeah, that's to me, that's the best explanation. That nothing like whereas Godzilla was created, and obviously the creation of Godzilla is a commentary on how humans treat the Earth.
Right.
That we inadvertently create Godzilla. I think King Kong is just, like you said, if man never finds this island, he's just a being that just happens to be the last of his kind on that island. That's how I've always thought about it. But we would find out later that maybe not.
That's true. It is. It's worth noting in King Kong versus Godzilla that Godzilla initially has the advantage, nearly kills King Kong, but Kong regains his strength after absorbing electricity from a nearby lightning cloud. That happened. That's how he got the advantage.
Oh, that's weird. That adds a whole science fiction element. So he's not natural anymore.
Yeah, weird, huh?
He's not just a creature. Now he's electrified. That does kind of make me sad.
It's like
I don't think I ever want to see this.
You don't mind Jason Voorhees until he dies and comes back to life by the electricity shock, the lightning shock. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Okay.
Didn't you think that was stupid?
That was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
The year after 1967, King Kong escapes was a Japanese release as well. Not much to say about this. It was pretty badly done, in my opinion, but it was an adaptation of the Saturday morning cartoon, The King Kong Show. True story.
Yeah, that's something worth noting, that King Kong has been in tons of media outside of film.
Yeah.
TV shows, comic books.
Everything. Video games even.
Video games.
The plot for this one here in King Kong Escapes, an evil genius named Doctor Who creates Doctor Who. He creates Mechanicong, a robotic version of King Kong, to dig for a highly radioactive element X found only at the North Pole. Now, after a while,
I've seen this.
Mechanicong goes there, and so much radiation makes all of his circuits shut down, and has to go back to the island and find the real Kong to go and finish the job to find the element X. And then Kong and Mechanicong wake up and see each other and then fight.
I have seen
versus
this.
Kong.
Wow. Like I had not thought about that until you just described the plot. And I'm like,
brought it back.
I've seen this.
Brought it back.
I remember seeing this. Yeah. Which seemed to be like that, for whatever reason, something terrible like that seems to be, not to make another Superman reference, but that is almost a clear indication, because it almost looks exactly like the battle that if you ever see Superman 3, at the end of Superman 3, Superman has to fight a robot that is made from a human, and she's kind of sucked in to the giant computer, and the giant computer designs this kind of robot that has to fight Superman, and it's almost the same concept. Like it looks almost exactly the same.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems to be inspired from that.
It makes sense. Yeah. That was 1967's King Kong Escapes, and the next time we see that character of King Kong, 1976. In the United States. What do you have to say about that one?
Which is basically a retelling of the 1933 movie.
Yeah, for the most part.
And I guess with King Kong movies, this is probably the one I'm most familiar with, because I've seen this one a bunch.
Where he heard the roar of the greatest beast. They will discover an uncharted island that is the home of the most incredible creature on the face of the earth. King Kong, a fantastic adventure. Open the gate! With Jeff Bridges, Charles Grodin, and introducing Jessica Lange as the beauty who charmed the beast. And starring the eighth wonder of the world, King Kong.
Jessica Lange.
Yeah. that Jessica Lange, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they really... They channel, like she channels her inner Fay Ray for this movie.
Yeah.
Because how she didn't become like
quite the looker back then.
It girl of Hollywood from the 1976 King Kong, I have no idea.
I see Jessica Lange, and I think about her when I hear the name of the older granny-style character in the American Horror Story series.
Yeah.
And that's just how I know Jessica Lange. And
Yeah.
seeing this again for the first time in a while, I just watched it this morning. I'm like, wow, she was
Jessica Lange is easy on the eyes.
She's different.
Yeah. Basically, it's like you said, it's the same plot, but with a 1970s twist. You know, by the mid-1970s, there was the oil embargo, and everyone concerned about oil, and it's oil. So Skull Island is discovered in this movie by an oil company.
Right.
Thinking that since it's untapped, no one's ever been there, there must be a plethora of oil underneath the earth. But instead, they find King Kong.
They do.
And they bring him back to New York. And instead of climbing the Empire State Building, he climbs the World Trade Center.
Yeah, that was weird and surreal to watch.
It is, yeah. To this day, it's weird to see.
Yeah.
But
I think this one, out of all those, didn't mean to cut you off there. But
you're fine.
I think
You're
this
good.
one here gave me the most emotion from it. This is the only, as far as I know, the only King Kong actually portrayed by an actual person. I mean, you see the actual human eyes in there. So, to me, that adds a lot. The suit and makeup may not be fantastic. At the time, it was amazing. It won an Academy Award for best makeup or best visual effects.
Best visual effects,
That's what it was, yeah. So, that was good at the time. It doesn't hold up so well today, but the fact you can see physical, tangible human eyes or ape eyes in that suit makes a lot of more emotion come out when you watch it.
Yeah, it's actually a really well-made movie.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It was nominated for Best Cinematography and Sound.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. And I think Peter Jackson tapped into the 1976 King Kong by casting Andy Serkis to do the motion capture for Kong in his movie.
But still just missing those actual eyes. That to me, that hit me a lot.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges is really good in this, too.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges is good in this.
He is.
Even Charles Grodin is good in it.
Yeah, for what he was.
And like we mentioned, Jessica Lange.
Mm-hmm.
And they did, by the 70s, they were able to do some cool effects, like that whole waterfall scene on the island.
I just wonder why they changed her name from Anne to Dwan. D-W-A-N. That was a weird...
They don't keep the same names.
Yeah, that's weird.
Through these movies.
Well, I think in the other remake, 2005, I think her name was Anne again, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but his name was different.
Right.
He wasn't Carl, was he?
I think he was. Yeah, I think it's Carl Denham.
Oh, so he
Jack
used
Black,
the same...
Yeah, I think that was a straight-up remake.
They
I'm
used
pretty
the
sure.
same names?
But
I thought
Dwan.
they changed the names.
In fact, they find her in like this kind of inflatable boat after her ship explodes. It's a weird... intro. It's like, here's a character. Just don't ask questions. Just take her.
It's Jessica Lange.
Yeah. So I read that Meryl Streep was going to play the role of Dwan, but after further speculation, they found that she was deemed too unattractive to play that.
Oh, wow.
True story, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The stuff with the World Trade Center is cool because they did the cool effects where he leaps from Tower 1 to Tower 2 and that sort of stuff.
Very rampage-ish.
Yeah, it is kind of rampages.
Yeah.
Rampage-ish.
And so this movie, more than the other ones as well, especially with Jeff Bridges, he kind of takes the 70s-ish, almost nature-loving kind of hippie route, and then you have other people kind of fearing for what the beast can do, and then you have Dwan, who is almost borderline in love with the beast. So you have these three kind of... Which side do you take with that? Do you have the one where he is a beast that must be put down, we as the military must kill him before he hurts our people? Do you have the... side of Jeff Bridges? Don't hurt him. He means no harm. It's for the first time I've seen that. It's all about narrative. Which side do you want?
No, I'm always on King Kong's side.
Yeah, same here.
But I think all the King Kong movies have that. I think that's where the direction kind of takes you. Like you don't when he's swatting down jets coming at him, and the army shooting him.
Yeah.
While he's on top of the World Trade Center. You're not rooting for them.
No.
You want Kong to live.
But we've talked about it before.
I think
There's
most moviegoers
a
do.
chopper full of 3 or 4 guys that blew up in that helicopter that they have families at home. Those are 4 people just died. We don't care because the big monkey is going to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let the monkey live.
There's even a part whenever he takes an explosive tank and throws it across the other World Trade Center
Yes.
the roof, and it explodes in a fiery frenzy, and Jeff Bridges just screaming in victory. Yeah! He's killing the humans.
The only problem I have in the 1976 King Kong is that whole sequence where Jeff Bridges, it occurs to him that the World Trade Center, it reminds him of his mountains, of his native island.
Yeah.
That's a little hokey.
Yeah.
I mean, even for a King Kong movie, that's a little hokey.
But that death scene, it gets me every time.
Yeah.
I was teared. I won't lie about it.
And much like the original King Kong, he falls to his death.
Yeah.
And is killed, or is he?
I would say if he wasn't dead, he would stay in a coma for 10 years. What do you say?
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, that's how I would write that movie.
To around 1986?
Yeah, around that.
Oh, and are you talking about the direct sequel to 1976 King Kong?
I think I am.
King Kong Lives.
Now, easy, big guy. Hold on.
Did you say your beast is a female?
He was trying to get to the female.
What have they done to her?
She's pregnant.
Oh, my goodness. This movie. You can't find this movie.
No, so I haven't seen this movie, and I even tried to find a proper trailer for it. And that's pretty much impossible. I've looked a lot for this. So I had to go online and read the plot and kind of play it out in my head, and it is ridiculous.
Well, King Kong survived the incident at the World Trade Center, and you're right. He was in a coma for 10 years. And Linda Hamilton from Terminator fame is a heart surgeon, right?
Yeah.
I think so. She's a heart surgeon.
Right. Because he has to have a heart transplant, of course.
Right. When he comes out of the coma, they realize, King Kong needs a heart transplant and a blood transfusion.
To keep the blood pumping.
So they make him an artificial heart.
Right. Yeah.
Which, once again, by 1986, we were talking about artificial hearts, and there was the first artificial heart, implant. Mm-hmm. I forget the guy's name. So in 1986, someone is walking around with an artificial heart and living. And
now they would just 3D print Kong a heart.
Yeah, that's true.
Simple.
But he still needs the blood transfusion. Yeah. So what do? let's go to Borneo and see if we can find another Kong. Oh, we do.
Oh, how convenient.
And it's a lady Kong.
You know what happens whenever you put a male and a female of one species together and they have compatibilities?
We get baby Kong?
Yeah. Procreation.
So, but that's not before King Kong goes on a rampage with Lady Kong.
You can't even say it.
It's ridiculous. And King Kong basically sacrifices himself for Lady Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And then the humans in the movie realize the era of their ways, and they take Lady Kong back to Borneo, where she births King Kong Jr.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm.
Baby Kong. So that's your 1986 King Kong Lives.
That's
Is
fair.
that the worst on our list?
Yeah, I think so. That's pretty terrible.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
King Kong. Like, it's impossible to find.
Yeah, I can't find anything about it. Even the trailer I saw was shot terribly. It wasn't the official trailer whatsoever.
No,
It's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
2005 is the next one I have.
Yeah, Peter
Is
Jackson
it-
directed this one. I saw this in theaters, and I fell in love with it. To be honest, this is the first King Kong movie I ever saw, 2005.
You're feeling uneasy, Ann. Feeling's growing. It's washing over you. Scream, Ann! Scream for your life!
After I saw this, I fell in love with the character, did some past research on it, but starring Jack Black, Adrian Brody, Naomi Watts, Colin Hanks, and like you said, Andy Serkis doing the motion capture of the Beast himself. A semi-remake of the 1933 original. Most of the same characters and names came over. They changed his style this time around. Kong acts much more like a gorilla than a human. Most Kong you see, he stands up, kind of upright and walks around, and now they have him more of a gorilla feel to it. Like instead of the classic, when you think King Kong, you close your fists and beat your chest, but here they have him with his open palms in more of a gorilla style. Just small characteristics like that make him more animalistic. Like we said, he's older, he's weathered, he's by himself, and he's over 100 years old now.
And he is, like you said, the last of his kind on this island.
Yeah.
Why did this movie not do as well as, I mean, ultimately, like it ended up making like $500 million after home video and all. So you can't call this movie a failure, but this movie was not the juggernaut that everyone expected it to be. And I don't know why.
I think
it's a fantastic movie.
I love it, but I think those characters in general aren't so. I think we'll see this. We'll talk about very soon what the point of this is, the Kong Skull Island. But I think people aren't down for these movies anymore. I love them, always will love them, but I think the general public could care less
They
about.
don't care about King Kong?
About Godzilla. Or, I mean, Godzilla did all right, but it wasn't, it wasn't Avengers numbers.
But it was a bit of a sleeper, though. I think it did a lot better than they thought it would.
Yeah, but I think in the big pictures in general, King Kong or that just won't. I'm sad to say it, but I don't think people want that as much as they used to. The idea of a big scary monster movie isn't a big draw anymore. It is to me, but to most people it's not, I think. I think that's the problem.
Peter Jackson's King Kong is the most award-winning of all the Kong movies.
As it should be. I mean, I think as far as production value, it's good.
Yeah,
it still holds up quite a bit.
One for best sound editing, best sound mixing, best visual effects. The effects are great.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I agree with you. There is something to the 70s Kong that allows you to make more of a emotional connection to King Kong. But the effects, and nobody does motion capture like Andy Serkis.
Right, yeah.
Like anything he does. I mean, even in the Planet of the Apes, he's doing the motion capture for that,
I read a whole article what he did just for that, the motion capture technology. It was crazy. He would spend 2.5 hours a day in the makeup chair to get those dots applied to his face and then start working.
Wow.
2.5 hours in the chair to have those applied and then do his thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, every day. That's
That's
nuts.
dedication.
Yeah.
How do you not go nuts?
I have no idea.
Just sitting there waiting for that to happen.
Like you can't move. You're just there.
No, you can't.
2.5 hours.
You can't read.
Yeah.
Can't look at your phone.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No idea. I'm sure that 2.5 hours feels like 10.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Every day, and then you have to start working.
Yeah. But what he brings is great. I
Yeah.
mean, from Lord of the Rings to, like I said, the Planet of the Apes movies,
Star
to
Wars, of course.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Everything he does.
He's done
is
a few small
fantastic.
projects here and there.
He gets by.
Yeah.
He's
all right.
making ends meet.
Yeah. So you like this one quite a bit?
I did like
2005?
2005's King Kong.
Once again, so damn sad.
Yeah.
Man.
It really is.
And they bring back the quote, "It was beauty killed the beast." Jack Black delivers it this time around.
Which was odd casting.
Yeah.
I thought Jack Black was an odd cast choice. But I liked it. I mean, it worked.
It kind of created the Adrian Brody character. Didn't really. I guess if there were a main character besides King Kong, it would be him. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
no one
because here's the thing about that. From that 2005 is Naomi Watts isn't as prominent in the overarching plot.
Yeah, I think they actually introduced her by, she's a thief at first, right? And then Carl Denham sees her and then kind of brings her along. She's the catalyst that makes King Kong what he is, but like you said, overall, if there is a main character, it'd be Adrian Brody, I think.
Yeah, which she's not like the previous Kong movies.
Right, yeah.
You know. And then that brings us to this week's King Kong Skull Island.
Right.
Or I guess just called Kong Skull Island.
Just Kong.
What's the old, they can't call him King Kong anymore?
Just call him Kong.
Just call him Kong?
Yeah.
He is a good king. Kong Skull Island, Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson, the comedic actor.
Which one?
John C. Reilly.
Oh, yeah, right.
He's in it, too.
Right.
So this is a huge cast.
Yeah.
This is the biggest cast we've seen in a King Kong movie.
Mm-hmm. An uncharted island. Let me list all the ways you're going to die. Rain, heat, disease-carrying flies, and we haven't started on the things that want to eat you alive. We'll double that. Plus a bonus if we make it back.
That's Kong. He's God on the island.
We don't belong here.
But the devils live below us. I call them skull crawlers. Why? Because it sounds neat.
Okay.
Look, I just made that name up. I'm trying to scare you.
I'm fine calling them that. Are you cool with it?
Yeah, that seems like
I
that
like
seems
the
like
name.
I know we talk about like being fooled by trailers, but
it looks awesome.
This movie looks awesome.
I'll be there regardless. It looks great. Besides what the 2 trailers have shown me, I know nothing about it. I don't look it up.
Nor do I.
I don't want to. I could, but I choose not to. Just the visuals. And I said before, they've brought Kong up to over 100 feet tall for this one. The last time we saw him in 2005, he was about 18 feet. So now he's over 5 times the size last time we saw him. And the reason for that is, in 2020, it is confirmed now, Godzilla vs. Kong is happening.
That's crazy.
So that we're going to see that.
Like a good version.
Yeah, a good version. Not 2 guys in suits, which is fine.
Godzilla wins.
Yeah. Oh, you think so? Would you want that?
I don't see how Godzilla doesn't beat King Kong. He's radiation.
I don't know. Brute force, man.
Maybe. Here's what I know about Kong Skull Island. It is set in 1973. Mm-hmm. So it's a period piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That makes sense the way it looks, though.
Yeah. So it's set in 73. Kong is overseeing this island. He is the king of this island. Mm-hmm. And there are these other prehistoric creatures, and kind of in the vein of the original King Kong and the remake, there's other prehistoric creatures, mostly called skull crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name given to these creatures on this island. And I think when our heroes arrive on the island, King Kong is in the midst of battling the skull crawlers for control of the island, which to me sounds like an amazing plot twist to put into a King Kong movie.
Yeah.
Is that when we meet him, it's not going to be the typical story. Like, this is the king of the island that is, battling to remain in control of the island. Mm-hmm. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was listening to, I guess, the Collider podcast, and they were talking about when you watch the trailers for the obvious influences of Apocalypse Now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which,
the heat waves and the choppers and the horizon. Yeah.
It just drips.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now. Tributes.
Which what an environment to throw Kong in.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I actually am excited for Skull Island.
Yeah.
I think it'll be cool.
I'm excited.
Which I'm wondering if when Skull Island comes out, if it makes the Universal Studios Florida new Skull Island ride make more sense.
Does it not make sense right now?
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it can make sense, but I'm wondering if the characters that you meet in the queue and stuff are from this movie. And maybe the ride opened before the movie came out. Like maybe they thought this movie would come out last year or something like that.
He can't die in this one, right? Can he?
I don't know.
I mean, can you think of any other character in cinema history that's died more than him? I mean, and not in that, but
Freddy Krueger.
But reboots and remakes. I mean, has that ever? I can't think of any. I was trying to think today. Any other license?
Well, every horror movie villain dies at the end,
but not really,
because it gives you the resolution that you need to go home.
Yeah, but they always come back.
Yeah.
Where this time it's like he never, except for once he came back, but they kill him and reboot, kill him, reboot, kill like actual death.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Like a permanent death. Can you think of any other license that's had as many reboots? I was trying to think today. I couldn't do it.
Well, I wonder if this one will differ.
I mean, at least 5 varieties here.
That's true.
That's crazy.
I mean, I can't think of any other, and I think this may differ that we don't bring King Kong back to New York.
That's good.
by it being called Kong Skull Island, to me...
Jurassic Park, The Lost World. Don't get caught up in that.
No, that's true.
Don't get caught up.
They did bring a Tyrannosaurus Rex back to San Diego, which is my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Or Jason Takes Manhattan for 3 minutes.
Oh, man.
See?
That movie, it is an hour-and-a-half boat ride to Manhattan.
It's true.
For him to be in Manhattan. Like, you're absolutely right. 3 minutes of the movie.
So don't be alarmed by the title. Don't be fooled by it. That's what I'm saying.
You're right. But I don't think, I think this is going to be primarily on Skull Island.
Yeah.
Which is smart. Because keep it, on Skull Island, and then when you do King Kong versus Godzilla, you
bring Godzilla to Skull Island? Is that what you do?
Maybe. I mean, the whole King Kong running around a city is tired. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't want to see it.
Falling tears.
Even though I thought the way they did it in the 2005,
Yeah.
like returning to the Empire State Building, like the original, I thought that was really cool. But I don't want to see it again. Keep it in this land of like prehistoric animals and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Land of the Lost.
Right? Yeah, do it.
Let's talk about King Kong influences on other stuff that's not necessarily King Kong. We referenced it earlier. The Donkey Kong games.
Of course.
That's clearly King Kong.
That's huge, yeah.
Mario is trying to save the princess, Princess Peach, from King Kong, basically.
Right.
They didn't call it King Kong. They called it Donkey Kong. Which, that whole franchise of Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the Kong and yeah.
Donkey Kong Jr.
Country and all kinds of, from that namesake itself, is all from that character.
Rampage, as you talked about,
Yeah.
obviously a game influenced by King Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah, we're going to see like an 8-bit Rampage or a remake, or like a remake of the 8-bit Rampage soon.
Yeah,
it's going to happen finally.
And that is King Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
It's yeah.
I mean, it is, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Heavily, how about this? Heavily
influenced.
inspired by.
Yeah, there we go.
Any other references? I think Grodd.
You think so?
From DC Comics is King Kong inspired. Especially like Gorilla City is basically Skull Island.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Can you think of anything else?
I don't think so.
It seems like there's one we're missing.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Magilla Gorilla?
No.
Grape Ape?
Grape Ape, that's what you said.
Yeah. Grape Ape. So tell us your favorite King Kong moment in a movie.
Let us know.
Yeah. At adamandjp.com.
Pretty much covered all the movies there, but some people have.
Did we miss a movie?
I don't think so. As far as theatrical released movies, I don't think so. I'm sure there are some animated, maybe some B-side, bootleg things out there. But as far as theatrical releases, that's what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to adamandjp.com, go to the contacts tab, send us an email.
Do it.
Or tweet at us at adamandjp, and also on Facebook.
Of course, facebook.com/adamandjp is always a good time on there.
I think that's it.
That's it.
What are we doing next week?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll talk about it.
We'll figure it out. I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
Eat your Pod Casserole.
This has been a production of the Adam and JP family of on-demand talk radio.
AdamandJP.com.
Right now.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network, your station for all things geek, classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at ESONetwork.com.